Alright everyone, welcome back to the Nashville Predators GM mode. Today we're going to be starting year 5 of the simulation. Now, if you did not catch the prospect report that I uploaded, probably it would be yesterday at this point. If you didn't catch that, I said that this is going to be the last season if we win the Stanley Cup. If not, we'll be continuing, but if we win the Stanley Cup, this will be the last season, so I don't want it to get too ridiculous to the point of winning Stanley Cups like every year. So we're just better off ending it at a point where we've had 2 Stanley Cup wins back to back, which would be our first 2 wins as a franchise as a whole. So if we don't win back to back, then obviously we'll keep going. But 8-2 win right there. Forsberg's got 5 points on the season so far. Kucherov is a +5. So this is literally the same team as last year. So it's going to depend on other teams' success whether or not we will how far we'll make it in the playoffs this year. So we got Colorado, who we built up a pretty decent rivalry with up to this point, and we're going to win 4-0. So that's a good start to the season. 2-1-1. The only game we lost was the first game, and it was by a score of 4-3. So not super concerned about it. So the main thing with ending this is the one thing that's kind of being negative is all these prospects that we've acquired the last couple of years. And the very top of the draft between Nedved, who was this number 2 overall pick, and our number 2 overall pick this year, whose name escapes me, the defenseman. Between those two, yeah, we're leaving a line behind a lot. And Konechny from year 1, the prospect of that season, you know, we're leaving a lot behind if we do that. But at the same time, there's no point in continuing after you've accomplished what the main goal is anyway. So we're just going to keep going throughout this. We haven't, obviously that's very far down the line, so we don't have to worry about that quite yet. So the playoffs are still a good bit of ways. It's very early on in the season, not even 10 games into the season, so who knows. We lost a couple games back to back, but we got one in overtime, so I guess it's not that bad. We started out the last season not super strong, and we finished the season very well. So Buffalo, we lost 2-3. Matt Duchene is out for about a week. We'll just replace him with Yuri Sekech for the time being. Looks like Forsberg slowed down a little bit, unless he has like 4-9 or something. Who knows? I love being able to just do that now in the minors. So we got the Panthers coming up here. Let's try and win this. We lost 3 in a row, so I have to stop the sim if this game is a loss. I'll get to win. Seth Jones is out for a couple weeks, about 10 days. He's gonna miss at least 3 to 5 games, I'd say. We got 3 this week, and then we'll probably have a good bit next week too. So Duchene is back, so we'll put him in instead of Sekech. How do you do in the meantime? Probably did pretty well. 2 goals in 2 games. So again, it's not super realistic to have him just constantly like getting scratched, but at the same time, you need players like that on your bench who will step up when needed. I think the New Jersey Devils have the best example of that, except for their team as a whole is not good. They have Martin Havlat and Michael Reiter as healthy scratches, who are proven goal scorers and can probably step in at any time and give your team some offense when someone needs the night off or is injured. You know, that's the kind of healthy scratches that I think every team needs, is players who can just kind of step in and fill a role, whether it be offensively or defensively. And take a drink. Oh. If there's any background noise, I apologize. I chose a kind of weird time to record as opposed to usual. So, alright, we're 10-3-2, 15 games into the season. We will go about 6 more games and check stats. Seth Jones is going to be back now. I was going to say after the game against Detroit, but he came back for the game against Detroit. So thank you for your services, Bartley, but we're going to put Jones back in. He's a better defenseman than you. So Detroit, not a great team. Hopefully we can win this one. If not, that's not a good sign. Alright, we won 3-2. We are a star GM. How much further do we have to go? Legendary, so we need 5,000 more task points for that. We're not quite up enough to upgrade the medical staff yet, so we'll check that later on in the season, hopefully. Bartley also hurt himself in that last game, I guess. So we got Steven Stamkos and the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've really fallen off since the beginning of this GM. Even though, wow, 7-1. It just shows how good Druin and Stamkos are. That we lost 7-1 against a team that was not very good. I feel like Druin and Stamkos probably had to combine like 5 points that game. So we got Winnipeg, who looks like they're challenging for the division crown this year. We beat them though. It's a big game. Forsberg is back into that goal lead, although I don't think it's by a whole lot. So we can stop the sim right here. Oh no, we're not 20 games. We got like 3 more games to go. I'm sorry. So we'll sim these 2 more games. This is the start of a Pacific Division road trip, which consists of 3 games. Kucherov's having a really good season so far, it looks like. I don't know why they bumped him back down to an 86 from an 87. Jason Fram is out for the Miners. Nold, that's his name, Nold. So we'd be ignoring prospects like Nold and Nedved, but the 6-1 win right there. We'll sim this one more game because it's just going to finish off this road trip. The first half of this road trip, and we lost, so I probably shouldn't have simmed that, to be fair. So we'll check stats, team standings. We are second in the NHL to fucking Boston again. Alright, we actually have 2 games in hand on Boston, though. So our point percentage is second to Nashville, who's played 4 less games than Boston. But they have the same record as us. If they went 1-1 in those extra 2 games, they would have the same record as us. So goals for per game were 8, so we've fallen off a bit. However, our goals against is second to only Chicago. So Chicago's been playing better than us, but we've been winning more games. Power play is third. That's all cool. Penalty kills 17th. That's not any different than normal. We're 8-1-2 at home, so that's good. And we're 8-1-1 in our last 10. So out of our last 10, we won 8, and we got points in 9. So let's keep going. We'll sim rough. Oh, and then check player stats. Milwaukee. I forgot to change last time the defense back around, so we'll put Nold up there. I don't care about non-even strength lines, really, so we'll just see. We'll check the AHL player stats, too, although I don't think they played a whole lot, to see how our players are doing. It's more the defensemen that I'm concerned about, but Konechny is an important part of that AHL team, too. 81. Last time I had an 80 overall forward, he was a point per game player in the AHL. So Kucherov has 23 points. Forsberg has 21. Franzen has 20. Colin Wilson has 15. Shea Weber has 14. Duchesne only has 13, but he's a +8. I guess that's okay. Really like to see more. Tyler Johnson's only got 13, and he's played 2 more games. So Roman Josi with 11. Craig Smith with 9. Seth Jones with 7. Austin Watson with 6. The third line's kind of disappointing. Back is only has 4. What's his plus minus? +2. So he's really not doing all that great. It's his hitting though that keeps his spot, and that's pretty much it. So not really anything to do. Kucherov's our point leader. It's interesting because Forsberg's a 90 overall, and Duchesne's an 89 overall, and Kucherov's only an 86, and he's still leading our team. So I don't know. Franzen's almost a point per game player, though. So there's that to silver lining to the season. We might have to keep him. We might force our hand to keep him for at least once. Oh, I didn't check the AHL. We'll just look. We'll do a quick peek. 1-3 loss. Roman Josi's out for like a while, so we'll have to do something about that. Konechny's got 20 points in 22 games, so that's not bad. Need to call someone up. No, we don't. We just need to best lines, I think, in the NHL. So Downey for back is Austin Watson. Can stay there. That was not what I wanted to do. Craig Smith back is Johnson over here. Switch those two, and all right. So that's good. It's saying to put Seth. No, we got to put Franzen with Weber because he's been producing really well. We'll put Chapman there. Edmondson can be up. Kucherov, Duchesne, Forsberg, Wilson, and Craig Smith because he's part of that integral power play. I'm going to put Chapman on the power play, though, instead of Edmondson, just to give him some more time. Um, I could double shift Franzen, but I don't really want to do that. Penalty kill is pretty much the same. We're just going to switch Chapman and Jones. Johnson, Tyler Johnson, Craig Smith, David Backes, and Colin Wilson. Okay. 3-man PK, Johnson Backes. 4-on-4 lines, that's all good. We'll just put Austin Watson in the 4-on-4 lines. That's good. So, that sucks that he got injured, but we can probably sim through the rest of these games. We'll get him back soon, and then we'll just best lines it again, probably. Hopefully we can get back on a winning track. We've lost a couple in a row. We're taking on LA here. They don't have a very good team, so we should hopefully beat them. 5-0 loss. Okay, get back on the right track here. Come on, it's Arizona. They've never been good throughout this franchise. Their win leader has 3 wins. Come on. Okay, 5-3. It's not the greatest of wins, but I'll take it. It's getting back on the right track. So we got a good stretch here. 2 divisional games, and the best team in the NHL are upcoming on our schedule. So we're going to keep going to the dub. They got a good bit of prospects there. So the next 3 games, we got a rough stretch. We just got to prove that we're a good team here. Win at least 2 or get points in 2 of them. So Dallas here is first. They're 11-11-2. You need to beat them, and we beat them 3-1. All right, Boston's here. This is gonna be a big game. It's on a Friday. This is nationally televised. They've played 2 more games than us, but they lost them both in overtime. We need to get this game in the President's Trophy race. Oh, we lost 5-1. It wasn't even like a close game or anything. We just let them dominate us. All right, Colorado. Got to get back on the right track here. They're an easily beatable team, and we lost 2-0. We haven't even scored. We scored 1 goal in the last 2 games. Austin Watson's out. All right, Eastern Conference road trip here. We've kind of fallen off, I feel like. In the last few games, we haven't been as good. So we just got to win a couple games right here to get back on the right track. Kucherov's still tearing it up this season. 20 assists so far. He might end up leading our team in points, which means each of the last 3 years we had a different point leader. All right, shutout against Montreal. That's good. Washington coming up. We should get Austin Watson back here soon. They are 14-11-4. Ovechkin only has 10 goals. But Mike Green is their assist leader. Let's see if we can win this one, or at least get a point out of it, and we lost 5-1. So, not a good sign. Mike Ribeiro and the Vancouver... Wow, they beat us. Damn, this is not a good stretch. This is not going very good at all. Austin Watson... Sekech doing that run. He was 2-2 before. He did not score a point at all. Awesome. Love to see that. Thomas Hickey is... It's only 3.5 white stars. Alright, Chicago here. Let's try and beat them. They're pretty close to us in the division race. And we lost in regulation. Shea Weber's going to miss like a game probably. A lot of defenseman injuries going on here. But Shea Weber and Roman Josi are both soon to return. Shea Weber might even be back before this game. Cody Hodgson is on waivers. He should have capped out by now. Yeah, he did. No, I'm not going to take him. Shea Weber's back. Didn't we miss a game? Just going to scratch Erie. We're taking on Philly. They're a good team, but we should be able to beat them, and they're not so great goalie. But we've been kind of shitty lately, so who knows. Alright, we won 3-2. Close game. Alright, Florida here. They got that really good goalie. And Huberto's tearing up 7-1 win. Nice. Forsberg's got 15 goals on the year. The Wild, the divisional rival, they've been up our ass the last like 2 years in the playoff. Well, not the playoffs, but in the division, and we lost in regulation. Not fun. So we got our best lines this again. Switch those 2 here, up there, Richards there. Oh, we gotta switch Wilson and Tyler Johnson as well. Oh, website. No, not. This is the worst system like ever. Sometimes I swear. France. Oh my God. so unresponsive. And instead of back, because we want not him. I messed that up. It's taking a really long time. It's been such a long time. Craig Smith and Colin Wilson. 3-man PK, Tyler Johnson, Dave Back is 4-man. 4-4. Put Austin Watson in here. Alright. 3-2 loss. I think that was in regulation too, so not great, but we can get back on track here. We're not a super great team so far in defending the Stanley Cup, but I still feel like we're up there just because the rest of the league seems like they're kind of roaming around 500, and we're slightly above 500. So nice shutout of the St. Louis Blues right there. We got another divisional game coming up against Colorado. Let's see, we are 36, so we got to go like 4 more games. We'll go up to the end of this game against Chicago is we're going to end it off, and we'll look at stats and standings and stuff. And Forsberg might be able to get up to 20 goals by then. He needs 3 in his next 4 games, so it's definitely doable, but it is not very likely to happen. He didn't even get one there. We lost in overtime, but I guess we got a point out of it, so that's something nice to take away. Forsberg is also our plus-minus leader, so that's nice. Alright, Winnipeg. We got 3 divisional games coming up here to end it off. We got Winnipeg, who's really close to us. Every time we play them, we beat them since the very first game of the season. They're pushing us for the division this year. I feel it. They're like breathing down our necks. We won a few in a row here. See if Forsberg can get a goal against Chicago. Chicago's probably second to us, and I think Winnipeg is third. So it's a tight divisional race, and we lost 5-3 again. And Colin Wilson's out for a little bit. So, Semyon Varlamov's having a really good season. He's got the 4th best save percentage, and his isn't unearthly, like impossible to keep up like Lundqvist and Holtby's is. So we shouldn't see much fall off from Varlamov this season. He's also 4th in goals against, behind Lundqvist, Bernier, and Holtby as well. So, that's pretty good. If you have the 4th best goalie in the league in terms of stats, that's pretty good. And we got Pekka is even up there, so we have pretty good goalie races in this division. Points, that's goals and assists. We'll look at goals, we're not up there. Assists, we're also not up there. Standings, we are 2nd still to Montreal. Oh no, we're 3rd to... Wow, that division is fucking crazy. The Atlantic is ridiculous. Definitely going to have at least a wild card team from that, because we have less points than all those teams. Well, besides Boston. Boston's fallen off, but Ottawa and Toronto and Montreal. We might have games in hand, but we also don't have the super great record. So we're top in the Western Conference, though. LA, it's frustrating to see LA do so good because their roster's so bad. But I mean, they do have goaltending, so that's a positive. And I know we're not going to be up there for points at all. Yeah, no way. Kucherov would have to have another 20 goals to be even in 7th and 8th. So Morgan Riley's 7th though, and he's a defenseman, so it's crazy. Team standings, we'll see what we're doing. We're 3rd. We are 5th in points percentage, so we actually have more games played than Boston now, which is hilarious. But all these other teams are doing really good now. Chicago, actually, no, they're 2nd in the division still. Goals for, we're 17th, so we've really fallen off in that respect. I think Duchesne's have another shit year. And goals against, we're 3rd, but it's 2.5, which isn't very good. Power play is still 7th. Penalty kill is actually up to 8th. So we're top 10 in most major categories. We might need to do something to bolster the goals for, though. And I don't know if we can do that without making some sort of trade. So, I'll have to look into it in between episodes before the trade deadline to see what we can do. But now I'm definitely leery about... I was thinking about trading Franzen just so we get some value out of him before he hit free agency. But I don't know if I can do that now because we might have to keep him for at least 2 years. So Kucherov's 44. Actually, Duchesne's doing really well. It's that second line that looks like they're not super productive. Forsberg 39. That's good production from him. He has the same number of goals as Kucherov. Duchesne's up to 35, which is okay, not great. Colin Wilson has 32 on the second line. Franzen has 30 from the defensive position. Tyler Johnson's got 27, so he's really picked it up lately. Shea Weber 25, Seth Jones 18, Craig Smith 14, Back is 14. So we might have to do some sort of trade or something. Yossi's only got 14, but he's only played 28 games, so that's still a good pace. Watson 9, Shaw 8, Sisson 7, Downey 5, Chapman 5, Edmondson only 3, and Bartley had 2 in those 17 games that he played. And Richards only has 2, but he's really there for face-offs, and that's about it. Speaking of which, we'll check. Yeah, he's our top face-off guy. Among regular center. Well, he's not a top face-off guy, but he's one of our best face-off takers so far. Might have to move Colin Wilson back to that center position because it looks like, yeah, Tyler Johnson's got a less than 50 face-off percentage, and he's regularly playing center. So I'm definitely going to try and bolster our offense so that we're a little bit better of a scoring team. But at the same time, I feel like playing defense is the more important part. I didn't look at goalies, so I'm going to have to go back. And I'm going to look at hits as well, because that's an important. I consider that to be an important part, physicality. And if David Backes is still up there, we won't take him off the second line, because I think he'll still be like our top hitter. Weber, Edmondson, Forsberg, yeah, Backes is in the top 5, and Craig Smith and Chapman and Downey all have more than 50 so far. So, and Shane Weber has triple that, obviously, because he's always out there. Edmondson has a surprisingly high number of hits, considering he's just a top 6 defenseman. But he's horrendous in puck handling, so I guess there is that. Shooting percentage we'll also look at. Forsberg shooting an ungodly 17%, and Kucherov has a 16.3%. So Duchesne's is above 10, and Johnson's above 10. So all the important the offensive players in that top 6 have an above 10 shooting percentage, so that's nice. And Franz is actually 7, which is pretty good for a defenseman, considering they usually shoot around 5.5 to 6.5%, even on the high end of offensive defensemen. We'll look at plus minus to see who's kind of struggling defensively. That third line's not doing so great, and Tyler Johnson, that's about it. Craig Smith's is plus, but I don't know, that might be kind of a benefactor of being out there on the power play. Not that it doesn't actually factor into it, but I think it might be helping him a little bit. Goalies we didn't check either. So Varlamov obviously 2, 3, 4, 21, 9, and 4 good win percentage, I guess. 9.21 save percentage, 4 shutouts so far. Does he have any points? He has an assist. All right. I want to see a goaltender score a goal one day. But I don't check the stats enough to really know if it would happen. Carter Ammo, solid numbers for a backup, 2.633 and 1.915 save percentage. So not as good as he's been in past years as a backup, but he's still very serviceable at that. So we'll also check our AHL player stats, because I said I was going to do that at the 20-game mark, and I didn't. So we'll check forwards, and hopefully we'll do goalie first, then forward, because the goalie is honestly more important. Even though Konechny's there, the goalie is more important because he has 4.5 star potential. So he's got 2.34 goals against, 19 and 12, 9.16 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. And Roberg's having an okay backup season. No, he's not. So all skaters. Konechny 36 points, Kurtle's 30, so he might actually get a jump and be like a third liner for us next year. No, he's 25 already, probably won't. Spiller, Nold's got 25 points as a defenseman. It's crazy. 75 overall. I don't think he's jumped at all, but still, for a defenseman, that's a really good point total. He's a -5, but he's shooting 7.9%. So, and he's got a game winner. Chaddock, Hayes, Harliuk, Fram. What is Sean Day has 5 points, -1. Not super great. He's probably going to take another year or so. So, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Next episode is going to be the All-Star break. So.